Surprise, motherfucker! What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venger Satanis. And today's video, I didn't get to make a video just because I didn't have time or whatever. So busy with things. To wrap up day 3. But day 3 was awesome. I started out playing in a Wretched New Flesh game, run by Judd Goswick, and that went really well. That's the type of genre that I like, but I find it difficult to maneuver in a role in a in an RPG way, either as a GM or a player. Obviously as a player, just kind of go with the flow. There was a big party, and so most of the time I was in the background, which was fine and good, and that's kind of what I wanted because I don't want to take the limelight away from everybody else. Um, because I felt like the whole weekend the limelight was on me a lot more than I'm normally comfortable with because I kind of go between being introvert and extrovert. Um, Obviously, I push myself. And with practice, I've learned to become more of an extrovert while game mastering. And so sometimes when I'm playing, especially if I'm not in a super familiar or if I don't feel at home, then I'm just naturally more introverted, which worked out in this case because the sort of naked lunch. See, how did I describe it in the blog post? Naked lunch and Videodrome and maybe the Matrix, kind of ish. With just a little tiny bit of like Cobra Law mixed in, kind of like an over the edge type game, which I think is cool. If that was a TV show or a movie, I'd watch the shit out of it. But just running it would be daunting for me. It would be a challenge. I think I could do it, but I don't know. Judd did a fantastic job, and so my hat's off to him. And yeah, the Wretched New Flash is just really cool. It's just a really cool kitchen sink that just has so many things. It's like Chult because there's so many things going on potentially that you can do with it. Um, and that's one of the things that I love about a genre is its open-endedness and its flexibility. Um, but obviously, instead of like fantasy and science fiction and horror, it's a little bit cyberpunk and it's a little bit I don't know, corporate police, three-letter agency procedural, X-Filesy kind of weird modern, that type of thing. So awesome stuff, awesome game. I was lucky to play in that, and then to close out the convention, I ran Alpha Blue, which I hadn't done. I tried to think like as I was running it, I tried to think when the last time I ran Alpha Blue was. I know that with my long running and current Chalt campaign, I took them to Alpha Blue, and they went to outer space and even weird space, and the space station of Lust, Alpha Blue, and then they're like another planet with a penal colony, and so there was a lot of Alpha Blue elements, but I didn't run an Alpha Blue RPG. I haven't, probably maybe in a couple of years. It's been a really long time. I think the last time I ran it was at a convention, either GaryCon or GameholeCon. And I don't believe it was the last of either. So it was probably a year and a half to 2 years ago that I did. Anyway, it was because I wanted to run something new that wasn't Chult, because I ran Chult on Friday and I ran Chult on Saturday. and a lot of the people, because because the attendance numbers were so small, we had like somewhere between, I don't know, 18 to 22 people. So let's say 20. Um, I had a lot of the same people in my games, and I didn't want to run like Chult for a third time for a lot of the same people. Um, so I wanted to run, something new and something that I could run on the fly without a lot of preparation. And obviously, Alpha Blue qualifies as that. And it was weird because running it again, especially with character creation, because that's the fun part of the game, and that's where if you're running a fly by the seat of your pants spontaneous sandbox, I think character creation for Alpha Blue, or maybe any game like that, really helps because you start solidifying the character and coming up with hooks and the backgrounds and similarities and differences between the different PCs. So you get some cohesion there, and you get some, um, the opposite, chafing and, um, magnetic forces attract as well as repel, and you want both because you want that friction. You don't want it so incompatible where it's just like doesn't make any sense at all, and it's just constantly fighting. But at the same time, you don't want everybody to go in the exact same direction and be like the same type of character because then you don't get that interplay between um, diversity that can create drama and also facilitate a better story. But anyway, this time running it, a lot of the things that I didn't spell out or were kind of nebulous about the character creation rules just kind of fell into place. I kind of saw the game from the character creation standpoint from seemingly a more objective spot, and was able to I just maneuver it a whole lot better. Usually, I don't know the way I wrote it. You could do a number of like different things. Um, but anyway, the path I chose for character creation this time just worked really well. It just everything kind of fell into place, and so it proceeded. And yeah, I didn't really have anything prepared, but it went well. I think there was a point where um, when we got to like the cantina part of Alpha Blue, where there was a lot going on with like someone was tailing them and they talked to him and their boss wanted to talk to him and then they had some stuff to sell and so they found a guy that had another guy that wanted to talk to them and then there was a bounty hunter that was wanted to meet up and then there was a succession of like meetings that they had set up like bing 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 and there were so many names and motivations and who these people were, these NPCs. I got confused, um, so we had to like hash out, kind of like out of game for a couple minutes. Like, wait, who? Okay, who are you meeting, and who is this? Who are you tailing? You're tailing the person that was trying to tail you, and then they're getting their boss, and then you're meeting some other guy, and this is a different guy than that guy, and it was just just all too much. It was kind of comedic. Um, Not exactly the sort of comedic thing I like in my humorous games, but I don't know. It was kind of funny nonetheless. Yeah, I kind of dropped the ball a little bit on that one, but we got it sorted out, and it was fine, and it was still a really fun, cool session. Everybody had a lot of laughs. There's a lot of sexual innuendo and sleaze and space opera that ended with a big shootout. So everybody was happy with that. Okay. Go to my blog. I'll put the link in the description below. Go to Venger's gaming blog because I have the first two parts of my convention report, like the aftermath, like post convention, what happened. up, and I'm gonna try to get the third one up, if not today, tomorrow. And I think I can wrap it up in 3 parts. But overall, it was a great convention. Doing it again next year. I have dates in mind, but I don't. But unfortunately, one of the days that we wanted to do, because I talked to people before the end of the convention, and we kind of like talked to like half a dozen, maybe 10, up to 10 people, and then the certain dates seemed to mesh with everybody. But there's a conflict with the venue, with the hotel, for one of those days. I don't know how, because we're literally a year out, but they said that there was. So now I'm shopping around for a different location. Hopefully, a similar location, but another location nonetheless. So I'm going to wait on giving exact dates and, official details like that, because I don't have a venue lined up yet. I'm going to deal with that later this week, I guess. So, yeah, I wanted to touch on Vengers, not Vengers, goddamn, pundits. I guess we're sort of like two sides of the same coin, but I wanted to talk about pundits' latest video about Rule Zero, but I'm kind of running out of time, so we'll probably leave that for another video tomorrow. But yeah, the convention was great. Everybody had a great time. If you want to see pictures and stuff like that, yeah, go to my Avengers Old School Gaming blog, link down there. I'm looking for YouTube, searching for other videos from VengerCon. I know people took video of me because, like, when I opened each day, I banged the gong. People recorded me doing that. I don't know if they're recording me for just their own posterity, just for their own collection, or if they put it elsewhere on social media. I tried to see if people were uploading things on YouTube, but I couldn't find anything about VengerCon 2 Electric Boogaloo except what I put out there. So I don't know where that material is, or if it's going to manifest at some time, at some point. But yeah, I took a lot of pictures. Other people took pictures too. A couple of people sent me like one or two of their pictures. I know there are other pictures out there. I'm still locked out of Twitter because of the whole me criticizing the climate cultists, telling people to get out of the fucking road or else prepare to be run over, which again is just like common sense. But big tech, social media want to control us and control what we say and how we think and how we talk to each other. They want to control the politics. They just want control. They want power and control, like all leftists do, because they find that more valuable than freedom. Family, faith, and freedom. That's what the conservative movement is all about. That's what I'm all about. That's why I find myself in conservative circles. We didn't talk much about politics at VengerCon, but when we did go into culture war topics and things like that, we were all kind of on a consensus. Some people were a little more center right, some people were a little more center left, but or classical liberal, which is perfectly fine. But when it comes to the woke and wokeness in general, it's just a bad idea. Bad things perpetrated by bad people. I mean, maybe not necessarily bad people, but people that are going about things the wrong way, and they're gonna get in trouble. They should prepare to get run over, because it metaphorically in the school of life or the road of life, because they're playing with fire. Very dangerous things that are not only dangerous for a country as a whole and the other citizens around them, but for themselves. It's a poisonous ideology, wokeness, and the more they imbibe that, the more poison they take in, and it will eventually kill them. So I'm concerned about everybody that is, steeped in the woke ideology. And, you know, here's a handout. Come over to the non authoritarian side of things, the non commie side. Um, if you leave your wokeness behind, you will be welcomed. There, you may need to prove yourself, and there may be a probationary period where we trust you or we um, want to hang out with you or play games with you or be in the same spaces and feel comfortable. But eventually, you can come back to normality, normal society, normal beliefs and values and ways of doing things. Just because you were woke at one time, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be just dead to us forever, like a lot of the woke would do with a Trump supporter. The TDS runs deep and strong, and but yeah, it's a dead end, politically and culturally, and their revolution is coming to an end. So yeah, check out my convention report blog posts, and we are going to do it next year. FingerCon 3. I don't have like a tagline for that yet, but it's coming. Just like the dates, official dates are coming, and a venue, where we're going to hold it. Maybe I can find somewhere a little bit cheaper, and maybe instead of $100, I can charge like 50 or 75. Um, that could be cool. Obviously, I don't want to do it in like I don't want some sort of like rundown, dilapidated shithole. But there are a lot of places. There are a lot of hotels. I don't know if I can find the right price. Maybe I can find some place even nicer than um, the hotel that we used before. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that's enough for me. Have a great week. What is it today? Wednesday? Yeah. Have a great week. Okay. Hump day, right?